The Democratic Party could become illegal in the state of Florida if a Republican lawmaker has his way. A state representative has introduced legislation banning the Democratic Party and forcibly switching voter registration of any registered Democrat. Wow! Isn't this another question of where the hell is the Florida Governor DeSantis? What the story we just did was what, Meatball Head that they're starting to call him?
Yeah.
He's starting to look like Meatball Head. Why would you allow this to happen? Why would the governor show up in Tallahassee and say, what the hell? What are y'all trying to do? First of all, you got a blogger story where you're trying to register bloggers. If they talk about government, they talk bad about government, you're going to fine them. Now this story where we're going to try to do away with the Democratic Party based on the fact that the Democrats, and it is true, had a long history of supporting slavery.
Right.
I mean, they were the party of slavery leading up to the Civil War and even after the Civil War.
Yeah, right. And that's the thing is, nobody disputes that. We all understand that. There was a big realignment of the political parties in the early 20th century, then again after the Civil Rights Movement. And that's when the Democrats moved into, we're not the party of racism anymore, and Republicans, Southern strategy, we know the rest. There was a difference in the parties, but Republicans always want to go back to that whole Civil War thing of, well, you guys supported slavery. Look, if you got to go back 160 years to attack the party, then you don't have an argument.
Yeah.
But this would, I mean, what he says in the bill, Blaise Ignalia is the guy. He says, if your party has a history, if you've ever supported slavery, you are hereby banned from having this party in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
So all of your voter registrations, as soon as this bill gets signed, immediately switch to no party affiliation or independent. You can have that choice. But this would mean no Democratic primaries in the state of Florida, nobody allowed on a ballot with a D next to their name, which would include presidential elections.
Yeah.
This is election rigging and it's voter disenfranchisement, but more importantly, this is scary as hell. This is Nazi stuff.
I wish in this picture they got my hometowns, Arcadia, Florida, and Port Charlotte, and Okeechobee, Sarasota. It's not, it's all of Florida. Here's what happened in Florida, okay? Charlie Crist was a terrible candidate to run under the Democratic ticket. It was a rout. By the way, where is Charlie now? I mean, somebody send in a comment if you've seen Charlie, please let us know. Okay, so this rout takes place. It gives this governor, DeSantis, the idea that he can do anything he wants to do, and he tells legislators, go have some fun with this. And but it makes him look like meatheads. It does make them look like meatheads to even come up with such a thing.
It really does. And what's funny is, this story and the first story we talked about with the bloggers, this all happened within the same 4-day span down here in the state of Florida.
Yeah.
During that time, Ron DeSantis was traveling the country, giving speeches in different states for his presidential run that hasn't announced, but we all see it. But so he left, and then he comes home and realizes the kids have just been throwing a big ass party all week.
Like Home Alone, man. Macaulay kid.
Except the problem is he's not looking at it as a problem. He's back. He's like, let's keep it going.
Exactly. Okay, now here, DeSantis can win. I mean,
that's scary.
There's very scary thought. He can win. If you load up with Haley and some of these other lesser Republicans, splits the ticket, that's his best shot. Yeah. That's the best shot for Trump. But the point is this: unless something weird happens like that, DeSantis can win. He will beat the hell out of Newsom from California. It's going to be Florida versus California. It's going to be Middle America, right in the middle of all that, and it's going to be the difference because he's appealing to Middle America. But the point is, to me, if you're serious about becoming president of the United States, why don't you walk into the House there, walk into the legislature and say, have you guys lost your frigging mind? Would you please stop acting like children? I don't know why he's not making a decision to do that.
I think it's because he's good with everything that's happening, and that's, of course, what makes it more terrifying. And like you said, He won his reelection by the biggest margin we have seen
20+%. I mean,
in decades here in the state of Florida. Even in presidential elections, we haven't seen a landslide like that.
But why? But he's giving that up, don't you see? He's giving that up by letting these fools in Tallahassee come up with idiotic ideas like this, or the blogger scheme, where if you're a blogger and you talk bad about the governor, you can be fined. I mean, really? Don't you just say, hey, kids, go home. I got it from here. I don't know. Farron, thanks for joining me.
Thank you.